What's going on, guys? It's Jim. Do you guys own a new car? Have you ever gotten a new car? I personally haven't, but it sounds like a really cool experience. And from what I've heard, it's something that just doesn't compare to anything else. You know, it's just something about being the first person to own that car. Maybe it's because brand new cars have the latest and greatest technology, they have 0 miles on them, or maybe it's that new car smell that you just can't get anywhere else. But there's a lot more perks than just that when it comes to buying a new car. Now, newer cars in today's world have much fewer maintenance problems. In a lot of cases, depending on how much you drive, you really would have to think about common maintenance like brakes, tires, and other minor repairs for at least a few years down the road. On top of that, the car is under the factory warranty, so if anything were to go wrong with it, it's covered. Now, while there are a lot of advantages to buying a brand new car, and oftentimes it's not the greatest financial decision that you can make. In fact, after going through my process of buying my own car, I'm strongly against buying brand new cars because when you look at the financial standpoint of it and you see how much a brand new car depreciates in such a short amount of time, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Never mind the huge expense of paying full price for that brand new car. Buying a car is a big deal. It's a huge purchase. For a lot of us, it's going to be the biggest purchase we make in our lifetime. For the average person out there, they look at this car and say, can I afford that? And honestly, it's not all about can you afford this car. It's can you justify spending that amount? Can you justify spending $50,000 on a brand new car knowing that in 1 year, that car will only be worth $35,000? So before we get into my reasoning and why you should never buy a brand new car, go ahead and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It greatly helps out the performance of this video. And the fact of the matter is, without you guys doing what you do, smashing the like button, throwing down comments in the comments section, and subscribing to the channel, I can't do what I do. So thank you very much. Go ahead, hit the button, and make it turn blue. This is my 2016 Mustang GT Premium. Now, I bought this car in 2017, so I bought it 1 year old with 7,000 miles on it. Now, keep in mind, guys, here, this car brand new sticker price is between $45,000 and $50,000 for a brand new Mustang GT. And like I said, I bought this 1 year old with only 7,000 miles on it, but because it was used, it took that initial hit of depreciation. So I ended up picking up this car for $30,000. That's right, $30,000, and that means that's about a 35 to 40% savings between this car, 1 year old with 7,000 miles, and one that was brand new at $45,000 to $50,000. Now, I will be honest, there was no difference between the 2016 and 2017 models, so they were basically the identical car. And on top of that, not only did I get that savings by getting 1 year old, I also still had a year and a half left on the factory warranty. Now, I will say I did a lot of work to this car after I got it. A lot of custom work you're seeing in the front end here. It is lowered. However, when I bought the car, the previous owner put the rims, the tires, the exhaust system, and tints on the windows. So that right there alone is about a $4,000 value into the car. And I will say, if you guys want to see a full breakdown of everything I've done to this car, how much it cost me, and you want to know more about it, you're interested, let me know in the comments below. But all in all, it was a no-brainer to buy this thing. It was 1 year old, 7,000 miles, and it already had some custom work, about $4,000 worth of work into the car. Couldn't pass it up. Now, sure, I did come across a good deal with my car. However, it's not like it's uncommon, okay? I mean, this is just kind of the norm. On average, the first year of owning a new car, the new car will lose its value between 20 and 30%. Between years 2 and 6, it'll go down another 15 to 18%. Overall, after 5, 6 years or so, a new car will lose its value by 60% or even more on average. Now, it's also important to note that some cars will depreciate more than others will. For example, the cars that depreciate most are more on the luxury side, right? Now, the reason being is because a lot of them are leased, and you get a surplus of these vehicles coming off the 3-year lease, and they just have to be sold. Take, for example, Mercedes. A $100,000 Mercedes, after 3 years, will depreciate by almost 50% or more, which means that same $100,000 Mercedes that you're about to buy brand new in 3 years will only be worth about $50,000. That's insane. So you got to think to yourself, why would you go out and buy a brand new car when you could buy one for literally half price if you just got a 3-year-old model? And honestly, most of the time there's no difference between the used car, the 2, 3-year-old used car, and the brand new model that's out. Now, we talked Mercedes, which is the most luxurious car you could get, okay? Well, let's compare this to, say, a Jeep Wrangler. Now, oddly, I don't know how, but Jeep Wranglers hold their value the greatest of all cars. With after 5 years of ownership, they only depreciate about 30%. And like I said, the average before for the average car after 5 years is 60% or greater. Personally, this comes as a shocker to me because there are just so many Jeep Wranglers out there. But that's another thing. There's so many of them out there and people absolutely love them, which is why they're able to hold their value. And if you think about it, there's nothing much to them. You know, they're very simplistic vehicles and they're very expensive. So when you realize how much a car can depreciate over the first year of owning it, you got to stop and ask yourself, do you want to be the one to take the hit on that? And the answer is no. Why would you? I mean, there's no reason why you can't find a car that's 1, maybe 2 years old, already took that 30% depreciation hit, same model as the new one, just like my car here, and still has a factory warranty on it. And on top of it all, you save a lot of money. Take my car, for example, 1 year old with 7,000 miles on it. I ended up saving about $15,000 by going with this versus the brand new model. Now, if you go ahead and take into consideration the $4,000 worth of work the previous owner put into it, that's about $19,000 worth of savings that I managed to save by buying this one versus a brand new one. I mean, think about how much you could do with an extra $19,000 in your pocket. I mean, you could literally buy another car, right? But seriously, with that extra $19,000 that I saved, it allowed me to do a lot of other things to this car, like put in an aftermarket grille, a carbon fiber front splitter, lower the car, and also get a custom forged carbon fiber steering wheel. So after going through the whole process of buying my car and seeing what things cost and how much things depreciate over time, I gotta say I would never buy a brand new car. And it really doesn't come down to the fact, am I able to afford it or not? It's, am I able to justify losing that money? But I mean, seriously, you buying a brand new car is basically saying that you are okay with losing this much money because you know going into it, that amount that you're paying, you're not gonna get that back ever. But I mean, hey, I guess if you could wrap your head around that, then why not go for it? I mean, sure, if you're a multi-millionaire, $50,000, $100,000 for a car, brand new, really isn't that much money compared to the scope of your entire net worth. Not to say that $50,000 to $100,000 isn't a lot of money, because it is, but when you compare that to how much, you know, a big multi-millionaire is worth, it really, in principle, it's not a lot of money. But to be honest with you, if I ever got to that point, I honestly don't know if I could justify spending that much money. I don't care how many millions I'm worth, I don't know if I could do it. I mean, it's not about the dollar amount at that point, it's just the core principle of it. And I feel like if you worked your way through life with that idea and that's how you got wealthy, then that just sticks with you and it just becomes a part of you. It doesn't matter the dollar amounts at all for anything, it's just, can you justify it? But that's just me, and everybody's different. So I want to hear from you guys. Would you rather buy a used car and save the money, or are you a firm believer in saying, I gotta have that new car smell? Let me know right now in the comments below and your reasoning behind it. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, then go ahead and smash the like button one more time if you haven't done so already. Again, it greatly helps out the performance of this video. And also, why not stick around for future videos? Go ahead, hit the little red rectangle, subscribe, be part of the team, but most importantly, hit the bell notification. This way, you don't miss out when I post new videos. On my channel, I cover anything to do with finance, investing, entrepreneurship, and money. So if you guys like money, then you're in the right place. Anyway, guys, that wraps up for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jim Leadus, and I'll see you on the next one.